Hi guys, it's Alice here, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. I've decided to sit here and tell you about my convention stories, particularly the ones with creepers. So mine aren't nearly as bad as some people I know, because I know some people who have straight up gotten harassed. Like, I wish I could just sit here and tell you some juicy story about how some guy grabbed my butt at Comic Con and I called the security on him and everyone around me started applauding, but that didn't happen. But it's creepy regardless, so let's get started. First story. So this happened during my first anime expo, which was, I think, in the year 2014. Yeah. And I was cosplaying as Ryuko from Kill la Kill. Let me just preface this by saying I'm the most self-conscious person ever, so it took me like 40 minutes to walk outside my friend's bathroom because I was so embarrassed to be in a crop top. So it was pretty bad. Now this happened towards the end of the con when I was walking around with my friend, and some guy approached me and asked to take a picture. So I was like, okay, and I happily posed like this for 10 seconds, and then 20 seconds. And it got more and more awkward every 5 seconds. And let me just tell you, it's pretty long to be standing there without being told what to do. Like, oh, I'm sorry, my camera's acting up, can you just hold it for a second? Or like, oh, do you have another pose? He wasn't saying anything, so I was kind of looking at him like, alright dude, you got the picture? He just looked so concentrated, so I was like, okay, maybe he's just trying to focus. And to my knowledge, he was trying to focus on my belly button. So he takes down his camera after what seems to be a decade, and with the creepiest, most disgusting look on his face, says,
I think my camera's a pervert.
Excuse me? I think my camera's a pervert. It just keeps zooming into your belly button. What do you mean? I wanted to cry. Like, honestly, it was really awkward. And at this point, my friend just starts laughing with him. We still talk about it to this day, and I still hate him for that. So the next story takes place at Anime Expo 2015 when I was cosplaying Kongo. So I was just walking around the exhibit hall like normal, and I felt a tap on my shoulder. So when I turned around, this guy was this close to my face, like, breathing hot, heavy, humid breaths. Hot, heavy, humid. Try saying that 5 times fast. Hot, humid. Hot, heavy, humid. Hot, heavy, humid. Hot, heavy, humid. Humongous. Homunculus. Like, I felt myself being moisturized for the next 3 months, which is fine. I understand if you have breathing problems. Like, heck, I get breathing problems just by getting up from my bed, but I don't go this close to people. So he asked the guy if he can take a picture of us, and then he hugs my face. Literally, he hugs my face like, ah. I don't know if you're getting this picture right here, but like, this is a hug. This is hugging the face. Okay, oh wait, this is a perfect example. Okay, so this is my face, okay? A normal hug is like this, right? But he was hugging, I kind of laughed. More of like a what's going on laugh, and I looked at him and he was dead serious, but he was looking at me like. So I got scared and went back into his clutches. I'm sorry. So eventually the guy was like, hey man, can you not do that? And he loosened his grip, which is like, I mean, better than nothing, so there's that. Okay, so this one happened during AX 2017. Why are all my stories from AX? I guess it's because it's one of the biggest conventions here, so all the weirdos tend to congregate in this area. I was cosplaying Inuyasha and Sesshomaru with my friend, and we were just walking outside when this freaking creeper had the audacity to whistle at us. And when we turned around, he was like, hey kitties, can I get a kiss, cute kitties? My friend and I just looked at each other like, so we just said no and started out. I need to stop biting my freaking tongue! So we just say no and start walking away, but he keeps persisting and following us, saying the same thing over and over again, so I turned around and said, we're not cats, we're dogs! Which was honestly, that's the most inappropriate thing he told us, that we're cats, not dogs. Like, ew, don't you dare call us cats, what a shame. But yeah, he looked kind of shocked, and I don't blame him because I would have been too if I was trying to get some sugar and I was hitting up a guy and he told me, excuse me, I'm not cosplaying an armadillo, I'm an anteater. Okay, sheesh! Never mind then. You armadillo? But yeah, that didn't stop him. In fact, I think I made it worse because he was like, oh, can I get a kiss, doggies? So she sternly said no and we walked away fast, and afterwards we had someone come up to us and tell us that this guy has been going around harassing other people and apparently he didn't have a badge. So this last story happened this past TwitchCon. Okay, this isn't really a creepy story, it's more like an awkward one. I was walking around the main exhibit hall and I ran into a YouTuber that I really liked. And for the sake of this video, I'll just call him Christian, just because he looks like a guy that I know named Christian, but that's not his real name. I ran into Christian and I was like, oh, Christian? And he was like, oh, yeah, what's up? And I was like, oh shoot, can I get a picture? And so he was like, yeah. And then I took out my phone, and while I was unlocking my phone, I felt the pressure of his hand slamming onto the nape of my neck. He was pressing down really hard. So hard, it was like he was protecting me from getting slashed by Survey Corps. I'm not a titan. It was enough to make me look up. I was on my phone, and then the next one I was like... For once, I wasn't sweating, so I didn't freak out. Like, usually when people touch bare parts of my body, 9 times out of 10, it would be sweaty. So I would immediately dodge and be like, don't touch me, I'm sweaty! But this time, I just let it slide. But yeah, it was just so awkward. Imagine what it looked like. Like, oh, Christian, can I get a picture? Yeah, sure. Oh, I don't know, just the whole thing was just so freaking awkward. Oh. But yeah, like I said, mine aren't as bad as some people getting groped, glomped, grabbed, greased. I've been going to plenty of conventions for about 4 years now, so I have a few stories up my sleeve. Let me know if you want to hear more, because I have embarrassing stories, people I hate at conventions, just like a whole bunch of things I can rant about. And apparently you guys like it when I rant, which like, I don't understand why, but then again, I love listening to people rant too, so I think I kind of get it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!